Yo, what's going on, guys? JC here. What I'm bringing you guys today is just a really quick video. We're going to go over adding loot points to new models or editing loot points of existing models. So if you're building a map or you're importing models, there's not going to be any loot points to those models. The map group proto is what controls what the loot points of set of each building. Well, if you bring in a new model, you don't have a map group proto, and I'm going to show you how to create one the very, very easy way. So basically, you're just going to come into DayZ editor and you're going to load whatever mod you want to create loot points for. These are some buildings that I made myself, or that I brought into the game myself. We actually did a stream on this, but that's beside the point. I want to add loot points to this. Now, I've already added loot points to this building. This building's actually on the Steam Workshop. People can use. Loot points are already set, but I'm going to go through the process of adding the loot points for you. So we're going to delete this building. You don't need the building. All you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click on the building and just go into the loot editor. This is a very, very cool and very easy process. Now, it being halfway in the water is perfectly normal. It used to not be so bad in the water, but with the recent updates, it is what it is. But we can still add loot points nonetheless. So what you're going to do is, it's very easy. You just double click. So once you double click, you can just basically move it. And you want the circle itself, the bottom of the circle, to be just touching the model. If you put it in here like this, the loot is going to obviously be inside the building, and if you bring it up to the top, it's obviously going to be floating. So you just kind of want to just eyeball it, but you just want to kind of set them right to there. Say we want to add another one down here on the floor, do the same thing, just kind of bring it down, and you can bring it something like that. And then we want to put one on top of this washer machine. Let's just put one here. Like I said, we just double click and then we just kind of bring it. You have to kind of float around a little bit, but you just want to bring it just to the top of this actual little thing here. It looks like we're in it a little bit. Bam. Now, of course, I'm doing this fast, but you would want to be much more precise. And then there we go. So that would be our 3 loot points. At this point, all you need to do is hit escape, and it's going to copy those to a clipboard. So you want to have Notepad++ open, and then you literally just paste. Now you'll see here's our 3 loot points. This is all loot floor. It's set to loot maxes by 4 by default. We can change this. Obviously there's only 3 points, so we would set this to 3. We would set the loot max here to 3, and then we can change the usage name if we want it military, farmer, or industrial. I'm assuming that type of building would just be industrial loot, so we can go ahead and delete this off of it, and there we go. We would put this inside of our vanilla map group proto, and then this building itself would have the ability to spawn loot. Now, of course, you'd also have to create a map group POS, but if you're building a map, or if you're making edits to a map using custom buildings, then you guys should already know how to do that by just coming up here and just exporting a map group POS, which would create loot, basically tell the server, hey, spawn loot in this building. But that's how you add loot points to a brand new model. Say you wanted to add loot points to an existing model. So all you would have to do here is, let's open up the DayZ folder. Let's go to structures. Let's say residentials. And now we have all of these houses. So say we want to just right click on this house right here, and we would just go into the loot editor. Of course, now it wants to be a butt and not show me the house. That's perfectly fine. Oh, that's because I did the P3D. My bad. So you do not want to open the P3D model itself. You actually want to open the type name. So that's my bad. So let's just go to land house 1W01. We'll go to the loot editor. This will actually load the house. It'll load all the proxies, and it'll show us all of the different loot points of this house. So say you wanted to, there's already a lot of loot points set to this house. So I really wouldn't recommend editing anything in this house, because there's just already a lot to begin with. But if you really wanted to, you could double click, you could add loot points to the home, you could remove some of these loot points, so on and so forth. and everything would be good. It's the same way. You just hit escape. Whenever we come to where we're pasting, as you can see, here's all of the loot points for that house. If you were to add or remove, that would actually take change here. But let's add something to a vanilla building that doesn't have any loot. So let's go to, like, for instance, the doghouse. So we're just gonna, don't open up the P3D model. You want to open up the actual building itself, and we'll go to the loot editor. All of these points are from the last model that we just opened, so we just want to delete these, and we want to just have the actual doghouse model itself. So all we're going to do is just double click to basically add a loot point. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Like I said, we want to just kind of keep it by the house itself, or, you know, in front, I would say. Bring it so it's not on the ground, like so. That looks about good. Then we would just hit escape. Now once we come into here, let's go ahead and just paste it on top of this. As you can see, we've got the one loot point, and we would probably just set this to village loot because those are pretty much in neighborhoods. Delete these right here, and there you go. Now we have a doghouse inside the loot. Now let's add these to our server. So you're gonna have to have a server, and I've got one right here. So let's just go to our file manager. This is just on a test server of mine. Let's go to our missions. Let's just come to we'll go to just the vanilla Chinaris one, and we're gonna open up our map group proto. Then inside this map group proto, here you'll see we've got pretty much everything we need right here. So all we need to do is come here. Let's go like this. Let's do this one first. So we're just going to Control C on this one, and then we're just going to put it right here. So if we want, we can obviously let's make sure like everything lines up the way everything else lines up, because that's just something that I have to do. Otherwise it looks really jank to me and it drives me absolute nuts. So let's put our, oh darn it, go like this, put our group name. Our closed group comes over here. The closed container would go like right here, and there you see it's pretty much, oh nope, this actually needs to come like right there. This comes like that, that comes like that. There we go. So now it's all in line with the vanilla stuff, and that's what it actually is supposed to look like. And we're good. So say that doghouse. So if we just go to the doghouse, there's probably not one in here. There's not, because it's not a normal loot spot. So all we would need to do is just, again, copy this one, and we're going to just do the same thing. We're just going to bring it over here. Let's put our usage to right there, container to right there. Our loot point will go right here. That closes the container, that closes the group. Now, if we were to save and exit this file, and we were to do like a wipe or a refresh, or just let the economy basically do its own thing, this right here, our land house container sand would start spawning loot, and our dog houses placed all across the map by Chinaris or whoever does it is going to start spawning a village loot on the floor right outside. Now, if you wanted to get it down even more, you can add categories to these. So say we wanted this category, this is industrial. Say we wanted our category to be tools. So now anything that is flagged tools and industrial has a chance to spawn here. If we don't want to put a category and we just go like this, basically anything can spawn there, anything. So I like doing it with adding categories to it, but you don't necessarily have to. If you don't put a category there, anything with the usage flag industrial will spawn. Same thing with village, same thing with military. But if you want to break it down even further to where if you want it to be tools, weapons, clothing, anything like that, well, it would be containers, you would, or, you know, and clothing, you would want it to actually like designate that with usage flags or category flags, I'm sorry. And that's pretty much it. It's really, really simple to add loot points to existing items, edit the loot points of existing items, or add loot points to modded items. So Hopefully this video helped. If it did, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys have any more requests or any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you can just join the Discord. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Love you, bye.